This is Dr. Meg Haworth, and you're listening to Life Lessons from Your Soul at BigMediaUSA.com. Today I am on the line with Kayhan Ghodsi. He was born in Iran in 1953. He became attracted to Sufism and Persian spiritual mystics from a very early age. After 5 years in Paris, France in his early 20s, Kayhan came to San Francisco, California at 25 years old. In the Church of Asclepion Healing in San Rafael, California, Kayhan met his clairvoyant teachers in 1997. In 2003, Kayhan was introduced to A Course in Miracles, having a very profound effect on him and his teachings. Welcome to the show, Kayhan.
Thank you, Meg.
It's very nice to have you here. As you know, the first question that I ask all of my guests is, what significant life lesson led you to become who you are today?
Yes, I know that you told me you're going to ask me that question, and I thought about it, and then I was reading this beautiful book called The Diamond in Your Pocket, and it gave me the answer that I wanted to tell you and bring it up. And that was about how the author of this book, a lady named Ganga Ji, talks about how we all have a story, and that's basically what you're asking me. What is your story?
Yes.
But then she says in her book, we all have a story, and these stories are not good or not bad. It's just that they are not true.
Very well put.
So I was thinking, the significant is not the event that basically helped me change my life. The significance comes from how I unstuck myself from that event so I could experience the result of it.
That's beautiful.
See, each time something happens to us, we can get stuck in that event itself. For example, if we go out and, have a car accident, anything. And then that's just an event. Okay, now are we going to get stuck in that event and go around and call all our friends and complain about this stupid man who was driving the other car and caused me all this? Or are we going to unstuck, get over the event and look and say, what was this for?
Yes.
What is the experience that I'm going to get out of this? Which kind of people did I meet as a result of this experience? How did I felt? Was I able to act as who I am, or was I reacting to the other? You know what I mean?
Yes.
So basically, once every event that happened in my life, of course, just like everybody else, I had some events and some more dramatic than other ones, but they could really not benefit me until I got over the event itself and stepped away from it and looked back and see what did this thing bring me? What was it for? So that's basically how I look at it. There are events that happened in my life that really shaped me, but they did not shape me until I got over them.
Yes. That makes a lot of sense. And it's I just keep thinking, the listeners who are listening to this little digital download here, back it up and listen to those questions that you just asked. Those are ones that your life presented to you to ask yourself about who you are, about why you're here, about what this event is teaching you, and then learn from it that way.
Exactly. See, one of the things that happens when we look at the event and we stay in the event, one of the things that happens is that we look at the whole experience and we externalize it. We say it was somebody else's fault.
Yes.
Because every event that happens in our life, every experience that happens, there are three things we can do with it. We can either own it and say, I made this happen. Why did I do that? What am I learning from it? Or we can externalize it and say it was somebody else's fault. We can turn it into karma, basically. Or we can totally ignore it, cover it with unconscious energy, and say it never happened.
Yes. Denial.
So when we look at it as us creating it, then we empower ourselves to change it. Because as a victim, you would never be able to change your experience from something. And of course, we have the choice. We can choose any of these three, and it doesn't make us any better or worse person.
Right.
It's just that there are these choices, and we can try and see which one works better.
Absolutely. That's what I'm always saying is there's multiple choices in Earth School.
Exactly.
Which one are you going to choose?
Exactly.
So.
The $60 million question, what is this for? Each time we're able to ask that question, then a whole range of experiences open up to us that when you just look at that event itself, there are no choices, there are no experiences. It's just that events that keep repeating and repeating and repeating itself. Even though it happened 30 years ago, if we don't get over it, it keeps repeating every 5 minutes, every 2 minutes.
And what do you think, though, is at the core of it?
Well, it is our desire. You see, I really don't believe that our life, our physical life, has no plan. I think it's very well planned.
Okay.
There is a space in between, kind of like if you look at relationships. If you're in a relationship and that relationship ends, you cannot really create another relationship until you get neutral to the one that's finished. You get over it.
Yes.
Some people don't. You see them 30 years after a relationship and they're still not done with it. You see them few lifetimes after a relationship and they're not done with it. So it's the same with the physical life. We will be able to create a new life once we get to a point of neutrality to the past life. And when we get into that space, at that moment we make a plan for our new life. And we plan a series of experiences we would like to have. These events in our life bring us those experiences.
Yes, and you touch on something very important there, is planning a new life within the life that you're currently living.
You can also do that, yes, of course. Those plans are not written in stones. You can always choose another experience.
Yes.
Basically, you can grow. That's what we're talking about. If you get out of the event itself and understand the experience, as a result of this experience, you grow, you evolve. And as a result of that evolution, you will desire new things, new experiences. And your desire becomes the light of your way. You follow your desire, and it will take you where you need to go.
In your meditation program, Nine Steps to Heaven, is that one of the things that you help people with, is to find that desire within them so that they can follow it?
The way that meditation series works itself in the 9 Steps to Heaven, the first step to me in any kind of spiritual work, in any kind of you saying hello to yourself, you really need to start practicing you being a creator and not a victim. So you understand life is not happening to you, but it's happening through you. I always give this example to my students that when you go to see a movie and there's a character on the screen that you don't like, you get really mad at that character. But it's nothing there. It's just a screen. The one who created that character is the scriptwriter. So as we look at the screen of our life and we get mad at things that's out there, the scriptwriter is us. We are the creator. So as we say hello to ourselves as a creator and not as a victim, then we turn the game around. And that game, basically the game out there, the worldly game, the upside down world, or the world of dreamwalkers, basically tells us we are sinful, we make, we don't belong to heaven, we have to die to go to heaven, we have to do all these things and we will never get there because, so once we turn the game around, we understand that we never left heaven. We are an idea in God's mind.
Yes.
How can we sin against what we're from?
Very well put.
So once we turn the game around, then we will see ourselves as creatures of heaven, as spirits that we never left. And suddenly we see that we can be in heaven all the time.
Kayhan, we have to end the segment, and I'd like to start the next segment going a little bit more deeply into what you were talking about. You're listening to Dr. Meg Haworth, and this is Life Lessons from Your Soul. I'm with